NFL season is back, my friends. We got your best bets for NFL Sunday, Week 1 on September 7th, 2025. We're going to have your NFL player props, totals, spreads, parlays here for you. We got 5 picks in the video. My name is Steve, as always. Let's lock in and get this sweep.
Well, my presence isn't real. It's another bad one like this is scale. It's straight fire. All my bets straight from. You're in the house that cab made now. Straight fire.
As always, my friends, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. As always, I appreciate all of your guys' support. Super excited to get after it here on Week 1 in the NFL. We had our Thursday night football video. So we already have kind of broken it in. As you guys could see, we ended up going 1-2 on Thursday night. We did cash the Cowboys plus 8.5 spread. Missed our 2 player props there with George Pickens and our parlay with Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith. But that's okay. Like I said, I felt like so far we've been pretty much on point with our game picks. If you guys checked out our NFL Week 1 spreads and totals video, we're 3-1 so far to start the season, picking every spread and total. And really, last night's total was the only one we missed, and that was really close. That definitely could have gone under. Just went over by 3 there with the field goal late. So I feel like we've been locked in on the game picks. Got to lock in with the player props. It's a little tough early in the season because we don't have any specific data. We're just going off of last year and what we think is going to happen. So it's a little bit tougher here early in the season. So just keep that in mind, guys. But so far on game picks, we've been locked in. Let's see if we can lock in on these player props today as well. Like I said, we're going to have 5 picks in this video. We're going to cover all the NFL Sunday day games, the 1 and the 4 o'clock games. We'll have a separate video for the Bills-Ravens. So a Sunday night football video. That will be coming out 8 p.m. Eastern time here on Saturday night here at the channel. So keep that in mind. And then there'll be the same thing for Monday Night Football. We'll have a video coming out 8 p.m. Sunday night for the Monday Night Football video. So keep that in mind if you guys are looking for that content. And then, of course, our NFL Week 1 spreads and totals video has been live since Tuesday. Still a lot of information in there. If you guys want that, we cover every game in that video and picking a spread and a total for those games. So just keep that in mind if you guys are interested in that. I'll have that pinned here at the end of this video. You guys can check that video out. That is a video series that we're going to run every Tuesday at 12 p.m. We'll have that video dropping live for the new week of games. So just keep that in mind if you guys want some early looks at games and just some early thoughts on some of the games. As far as our comment cappers, we did have a comment capper on Thursday night. We had Mike Crone calling Saquon Barkley 20-plus receiving yards. This was actually plus 165. This is a great call out here from Mike. Love to see it. Appreciate you, Mike. Mike also dropped us a donato here at the channel. So appreciate you, Mike. Big time stuff there. Like I said, wasn't our best night, but we did cash the Cowboys spread. Really, Lamb ended up going off, and then he ended up being the reason they kind of lost the game. Lamb had 3 drops, 2 or 3 big drops in that one that cost the Cowboys an opportunity there to win the game. But, I mean, it is what it is. Those things do happen. Without further ado, though, guys, we're going to get after it. Let's get the sweep here today. We have our For the Sweep Parlay as well, so we have an opportunity to make some good units here today. So let's get after it and get right into our picks here. At number 1, we're going New England Patriots. Minus 2.5 spread here versus the Las Vegas Raiders. We got minus 110 odds here on FanDuel. This is my favorite spread of the week. So when I look at this, for one, the Patriots playing this game at home. That's already, give us 3 points right there. Just for them being the home team. But I like what they did, obviously, in the off season. This is a team that's been improving. Showed signs of improvement, obviously, late in the season, last season, with quarterback Drake May. They're starting to look a lot better towards the end of last year. And then they made some great additions in the offseason, adding head coach Mike Vrabel. Off-season additions of Stephon Diggs at wide receiver and Carlton Davis at cornerback, who I really like. He was on my Detroit Lions. They got a good one there in Carlton Davis. So should be some great home energy here for the Patriots. Kind of trying to restore that winning tradition they got up there in Foxborough. And I think they will do that at least in week 1. I think they have enough momentum and home energy, and the home crowd will help, and enough improvements here to get by a Raiders team that should be improved as well under new head coach Pete Carroll. You guys know about him and how good of a coach he is. He'll change the culture there for sure. And then also, quarterback Geno Smith. So the Raiders will be better this year, but I think this is a tough spot going on the East Coast. and playing a very much improved New England team as well. I think the Patriots get this done. This is going to be Travion Henderson, running back for the Patriots, versus Ashton Genty. I'm going to roll with Travion Henderson here as well. I think he's going to win these matches. I think he's going to end up having the better day over Ashton Genty. And I think, like I said, I think that'll obviously help the Pats here. And I think they roll at home in this one. So, yeah, love the spot here for New England, guys. Love it there for number 1 pick. We got the New England Patriots -2.5 spread versus Las Vegas Raiders. -110 odds here on FanDuel. Okay, and at number 2, our favorite total of the week, we got the under 46.5 points in the Dolphins-Colts game. We got -105 odds here on DraftKings, risking a unit on this one. So, couple key storylines to keep track of for this one. Jim Irsay, obviously owner of the Colts, passed away. So they're going to be honoring him the first game here of the season. So this is going to be a pretty emotional day, especially for the Colts. So I expect to see that particularly from their defense. I think you get a very strong defensive effort from this Colts defense. And offensively, I don't know if I trust the Colts too much outside of running back Jonathan Taylor. So I think that bodes well for our under as well. So if Jonathan Taylor runs the ball well, keeps that clock running, moves the chains, that's not necessarily a bad thing for an under to be doing that, as long as we're not getting big passes through the air, which I don't think the Colts will get. Obviously, you can make a case for the Dolphins. Like I said, I think the Colts will be okay on defense. They're actually projected to have a pretty good interior defensive line, and they're pretty solid at cornerback as well. So I think they'll be able to kind of match up okay here with Miami and kind of just limit them and limit the big plays to kind of keep this as a game that kind of just keeps moving along. Where we can get in position here to cash an under. Miami is also projected to have a very strong front seven, data courtesy of ESPN. So this is another spot where I think, like I said, I think this is going to be, a little bit of a struggle to score points. I don't see this as a game where you're going to see a lot of points, a lot of flying around the field. I just don't see that. I see the defenses getting after it. And I see the Colts playing inspired at home. For what it's worth, I think the Colts do win this game. That was my game pick in that other video that I was talking about. It's not an official pick, but I do think they win, and I do think the under hits. So I think this is a great spot here for us today. So low there, guys, for number 2 pick. We got the under 46.5 points in the Dolphins-Colts game. We're on -105 odds here on DraftKings. Okay, and at number 3, we got Mike Evans. Anytime touchdown scorer for the Tampa Bay Bucs. We got +120 odds on Fanatics. So this is actually a plus EV play. At least that's how it popped up on props.cash. So you're getting great value on this one. I think here on Evans. Chris Godwin ruled out for the Tampa Bay Bucs, which, I mean, you can make a case either way, I guess, if it helps or hurts Evans. I think it helps Evans just because they're going to have to rely on him. They got another rookie wide receiver as the other receiver. And I'll be honest, I didn't anticipate Godwin being out. So when I made the picks in the spread and total video, I think I took the Bucs. And obviously without Godwin, I mean, I still think the Bucs get this done. But at the same time, we'd like to see Godwin in there in some way as far as that goes. But as far as Evans catching a touchdown, I think with Chris Godwin out of there, Evans going to be heavily relied upon, particularly in the red zone. Obviously, he'll get the red zone targets. For sure. They're going to throw some jump balls up to him for sure. You can count on that. And really, the Falcons' defense last year was not very good as far as in these departments. They ranked 31st last season in touchdowns allowed to wide receivers. This group on the back end is still projected to struggle for Atlanta. They're still not, outside of A.J. Terrell, I mean, he's obviously a pretty solid corner, but outside of that, the secondary is going to have a lot of troubles. And Terrell can't just be, he's going to probably be on Evans a decent bit. But you'll see some different guys on him as well. I mean, it's just going to be one of those things where Evans should get some solid looks here and opportunities to score. He did score in 8 out of 15 games last year, 3 of 7 games on the road. He has a touchdown in 3 of his last 6 games versus the Falcons, about 50%. But here in this particular spot versus a defense that has struggled without Chris Godwin now for the Bucs, I think this is a great spot for Evans. So love it there for number 3 pick. We got Mike Evans, anytime touchdown scorer, +120 odds here for the Tampa Bay Bucs. Okay, and at number 4, we're going Bo Nix. Over 20.5 rushing yards here for the Denver Broncos. We got +100 odds here on Fanatics. So we saw Bo Nix actually go 11 of 18 to this line last year. He's a pretty good running quarterback. Had numerous big rushing totals last year. But he had a couple games like over 70 yards and stuff. So the dude can run the football. He was 3 of 3 to start last season. And why I mentioned the start of this season, if you guys noticed the first 2 games, 3 of the 4 quarterbacks went over the rushing totals, and pretty easily too. They weren't even really that close. The only one that didn't was Dak Prescott, and he's a lot more of like he struggles to move. So I wasn't surprised at that. Bo Nix obviously a solid running quarterback. And here early in the season, I'm looking for that trend to continue. Obviously, as quarterbacks are starting to build chemistry with the wide receivers early on in the season, you can expect the quarterbacks to take it upon themselves to try to move the sticks as they're trying to establish that chemistry and that rhythm. I'm not saying it won't happen as far as getting that chemistry down, but early on in the season, I think quarterbacks are going to be a little bit more incentivized to try to pick up the first down themselves. And this is a good spot versus a Titans defense that ranked 25th in 2024 in rushing yards allowed to quarterbacks. So they're certainly capable of giving up rushing yards to quarterbacks. And I think here, I think Bo Nix is going to be able to hit this over here. So really like this spot, guys. Love it there for our number 4 pick. We got Bo Nix over 20.5 rushing yards here for the Denver Broncos. Going plus 100 odds here on Fanatics. Okay, and finally at number 5, we're going Jared Goff. Over 235.5 pass yards here for the Detroit Lions. We're going minus 115 odds here on Fanatics, risking unit here. Guys, Jared Goff cashed this line in 12 of 18 games last year. Now, obviously, we lost Ben Johnson as offensive coordinator. So, we're thinking about how's that going to impact Jared Goff. As far as like passing yards and stuff like that, I don't necessarily see that playing a huge role. Ben Johnson was a very creative offensive coordinator. It doesn't necessarily translate to that being a lot of pass yards because of that, because there was a lot of trick plays that involved the run game and all sorts of stuff. So I don't necessarily think that's going to impact Jared Goff's passing lines too much. I think this line is just set a little bit too low for me. Props.cash actually had a projection of Goff to get 300, about 65 over this line. So I don't necessarily think he's going to get there, but I think he'll get certainly in the mid 250s to mid into the 270 range is what I project for him here today. I do see the corner struggling to contain Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams, especially with the loss of Jair Alexander, who's now in Baltimore. So this Packers secondary could struggle a little bit because of that. Micah Parsons, if you're worried about him making too much of a difference, he's dealing with a back issue heading into this one. He's going to get an injection. I'm not buying the stock on Micah Parsons, at least right now. A, he's coming in nicked up, and B, he didn't really have much action in training camp, obviously, because the whole situation with the Cowboys, the holdout, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not expecting Parsons to make a huge impact on this game. And to be honest, and I talked about this earlier, I think Parsons is just a tad overrated in my eyes. 1 sack in 4 playoff games, and that sack came in a blowout situation. I don't know, guys. I'm not ready to jump aboard the Parsons, the love train on Parsons. The run defense was always bad with Parsons. What are we talking about? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but I'll let it play out. We'll let it play out. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I also could see this as a game where the Packers Lions look to light it up with this matchup between Goff and Love. Obviously, this I think is going to turn more and more into a rivalry, specifically between these two players, as they're trying to prove the supremacy here in the NFC North. And we saw some flashes of that last year. That game in Detroit was amazing between the Packers and the Lions. And I think we could see a lot more fireworks here in this one as well. Like I said, line is just a tad too low for me. Even without Ben Johnson. So, love it there for number 5 pick. We got Jared Goff over 235.5 pass yards here for the Detroit Lions, minus 115 odds on Fanatics. And then, of course, guys, as you know, are for the Sweep Parlay. This one is plus 28.36 odds on Fanatics. Usually that's the only place I'll probably post these parlays is through Fanatics. So maybe you can get better odds in a different book. You guys could certainly look into that as well. But obviously, 10th of a unit here, guys. We're not risking a ton of money, but we can make over 3 units here if we cash this, which would be fun. So obviously, Excited for the first week. Keep in mind, guys, like we mentioned earlier, we'll have a Sunday night football video coming out tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Should be out at 8 p.m. Might be out a little later. I don't know yet. It should be 8 p.m. And then also our Monday night football video will be out tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And then, of course, our baseball videos daily in the morning. So, got a lot of content here at the channel. Make sure you guys go to our channel homepage so you guys don't miss anything here at the channel. Just Google, let's YouTube search Straight Fire Picks, go to our channel homepage, scroll through the videos. We got a lot of things that we're covering this week. So, keep that in mind. Outside of that, guys, that is going to do it for me. I hope you all have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your weekend. And let's make some money here in week 1. Peace out.